All right, come here. Come here. How do you feel? So, hey everyone, welcome to a possible skate pod. I don't know if I'll ever edit this. I might just put up an image of the...
Hey, they didn't edit the fucking movie. Why should you? Why should you? You leave in every second of this recording because they made me watch every fucking second of him walking across 50 feet of desert.
The episode will just be a picture of Jauja and the table shot, and that's it. So,
yeah, why not? I don't give a shit.
All right.
Hold the same shot. Why should we change our angles?
Okay,
Why should we add anything visual? It's a visual medium? Yeah, not from what I saw.
So, okay, let me do an intro.
No, whatever. It's okay.
All right, I'm Sal.
Oh, I'm Josiah, yeah.
It's 11...
Doesn't matter who I am, though. We don't name half the characters.
It's 11:53 at night. Me and Josiah are hanging out.
Yeah, I want to hang myself after that.
About over a year ago, and I saw a trailer for a movie called Jauja.
Ja, zit ik tegen. Nu ska vi snart hem. Eu tenho pequeno problema com minha gente e seus soldados com... Vamos!
Los rumores corren rápido en el desierto, ¿no?
And I thought it looked pretty. It was pretty.
Yeah, it looked good.
It looked good. The music was nice. It had Viggo Mortensen playing on the main character, speaking different languages.
Yeah,
it was
looks
pretty
really
neat.
Interesting. Looks like something that would, tickle the mind a little bit, make you like think about something. Yeah.
And so I've been waiting for this movie to come to the public, and finally it's on Netflix, so I decided to watch it. And I messaged Josiah after my viewing of Jauja, to which I said, one of the best shot, terrible movies ever made.
Something like that.
And also, the last 30 minutes becomes a Lynch movie, and I called every second of it as a joke.
And see, when you said Lynch movie, I thought, hey, this is going to be dumb, but at least it's going to be, like, crazy. That wasn't crazy. That was, like, the fucking most stupid thing I've ever seen in my life. I can't fathom how anyone could think that was remotely intelligible or amusing to watch.
Okay, so let's talk about all the things before the last 30 minutes. Talk about like how the film is made, so that if people haven't seen the film, if they don't want to go to Netflix and watch it,
we should do them that favor, because trust me, I don't think you should put the time in.
Basically, here's the most interesting parts of the movie. Wherever they're shooting, I think it's in Argentina. The locations are beautiful.
Of course, yeah.
They're stunning. I'm surprised more people don't film there because it looks incredible.
No, it does. It looks great, yeah.
It's shot in 4:3.
Which is a cool choice. I like it.
I think it's shot on film. If not on film, they captured the look of film pretty well.
Yeah, no, the 4:3 ratio was regardless of what they used to use the content of what the content of the film is, everything being within that kind of lens, the whole movie flows well with the aspect ratio.
Yeah, it's very claustrophobic.
It's very claustrophobic, yes, and like you said, everything's always in focus. So it creates a sense of there's just what's right there, which is weird to me because they choose to have landscape shots.
Yeah, all the time.
And you would think that if they were trying to make it claustrophobic, they wouldn't show those.
And they have more close-ups and less wide shots.
You would think that 4:3 would lend itself to close-ups because it's almost that's what it's good at.
So for the most part, the movie is in wide shots. Almost
entirely.
I would say there's a total of around 5 close-ups. They're not even close-ups. They're like chest to like.
There's no shots
with some headroom. There's only, I think, one cut that happens on action.
Yeah.
There's only one cut that happens as a thing.
Spoiler alert, it's when a guy gets his throat cut. It's one of the only good parts of the movie.
And also, Viggo Mortensen's acting
Of course.
is stellar.
Like, is that even in question? Like,
I'm just saying, like
his performance is good. The problem is that he only gets to act about half the time.
the costumes are pretty good too in the opening when you see
yeah.
actual characters. The sets are nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say good things right now.
We're trying to go over the good things.
Until we go into the... So the worst part about the movie, to me... So let's say there's a shot of someone walking... Let's say we're in, like, the woods, right? And let's say we're shooting Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 1. They're running through the woods. You know? No, they're walking through the woods at this point. Imagine if it's a wide shot. It's in 4x3, so it's a square. And we see nothing but the woods. And then Harry, Ron, and Hermione walk onto screen, and they're super far away.
You can barely see them.
We barely see them, and we watch the entire time as they slowly walk up, closer to the camera. Not directly at us, but like kind of like...
Off to the side.
Yeah, off to the side.
And then
when it gets to around a little past the midway point, the cameraman's like, oh shit, I should start panning with them. And we'll kind of...
Pan just a slight bit.
Slightly start panning with them.
And then when they go off screen, it holds for about 4 more seconds.
And then they cut.
And then it cuts. And then it shows Ron making a fire for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Harry's just sitting there. And Hermione's off in the distance. You can't even see her.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Also, there's no talking.
No.
During these shots. Or is there music?
No, but Harry looks up at the sky and holds the Horcrux. And he takes it out of his jacket. And then it cuts to the next scene. And he takes it out of his jacket and looks at it and says, I should destroy this. Puts it back, and then the next scene's at night. He takes it out, and then he falls asleep. And he doesn't put it back in his jacket, but in the next scene, you know, it's in his jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens a lot where, like, the character finds a plot important thing.
Holy fuck, that was the whole plot.
Yeah.
That toy was the whole plot.
And he picks it up, he sits down and looks at it for, like, a good 20 minutes, and then he puts it away and walks off. Then it cuts to a shot of him climbing for 15 minutes. Then it cuts...
See, he's exaggerating.
But it felt that long.
Not in the way of, like, other films, where other films is like, hey, cut, and then maybe hold it a second too long. No, this film likes to hold it at least, like, 30 seconds too long.
Yeah.
That's at points.
On the front and the end. Like, the middle of every shot is okay.
Oh, because
sometimes,
that's the best part of the shot.
But there are some shots where I literally said to you, you can cut that entire shot out of the movie, and nothing would change.
Well, honestly, this movie's like, what, an hour 40 minutes?
Yeah.
With credits. You could bring it down to like a 30-minute movie most.
I'm not a betting man.
Like, because you cut out the whole ending. That's ending's like 10 minutes.
I would cut when it's him walking away.
And you'd have the voiceover happen earlier.
Yeah.
So by the time he goes down... I know you guys haven't seen the movie. Don't bother watching it. We'll try
No. Watch it to see how you should edit a movie.
You shouldn't. Watch it as an exercise to say, hey, I would cut here.
When you're watching the movie and something feels like we should stop watching the scene, you know how to be an editor now.
Yes, this movie is good training.
Yeah.
Because everyone should edit Jauja.
I don't think there was an editor in the sense that they got all the film reels
and just put it together.
And put them in order.
They put them in order.
And they synced the sound and then it ended.
Yeah. I think the director... It's kind of what you and I discussed at one point. I don't think he could kill his darlings. I think he wanted to have a really, like, introspective, like, feature-length film, and he didn't know how to cut a shot that he spent so much time getting to look good.
Yeah.
In this great location, he only had, like a few weeks to shoot in, and so he couldn't, like, cut the film, but it's like, dude, for fuck's sake, like, leave it for your own bonus reels. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to watch half this stuff. If something looks really good, if it improves the scene to take it out, you take it out. And that's the struggle. Like, and the film's not going to disappear. Like, you can look at it later and say, like, oh, wasn't that a great shot? You could put maybe some of those shots in the trailer or whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, completely excised, but it's like, my thing is that for a film to be good, you need 3 things above all: story, characters, and editing/pacing. If your pacing sucks, you could have the best story and best characters, which this film doesn't have. But if your pacing is shit, that's going to hurt your movie. And this is not length. This is how you pace the shots. This is how you pace the scenes. This is how you pace the progression of the story and character actions.
Yeah. It's why deleted scenes are a thing. Because, like, oh, that was a cool scene that we all shot and spent a lot of time on, but it hurts the movie to be there.
There's stuff in this movie that goes nowhere. So even if you want to say that it's a real, like, introspective, like, slow-moving study on something, which I would argue with you on, there's elements that are introduced that have no purpose other than to fill up a scene.
Baba Yaga?
Yeah.
So the interesting character...
Like, a guy steals his horse, never shows back up.
The interesting character of Baba Yaga...
Ever.
Who is...
It's not John Wick, unfortunately.
It's not... He's like a runaway. Is he the Baba Yaga or is it?
No, it's something. I don't give a shit.
We're gonna call him Baba Yaga.
Call him the Baba Yaga.
We're wrong.
I wish the Baba Yaga wasn't this
but
movie.
Deal with it. It's this guy who runs away. I think he's a part of the military that they're.
He's like a Spanish general or something.
Yeah, he runs away. He goes crazy. He's wearing dresses. He has like a pet dog.
Oh, we don't see any of this. This is all told to us before we see him.
And Viggo Mortensen's daughter is into this semi-attractive guy. Attractive enough for 1800s Argentina.
Yeah, she wanted to leave, I guess.
She just wanted the dick, honestly.
Like, I don't get any... We're not talking about the ending of the movie yet, but the daughter character has no character. Viggo Mortensen has a character. It's clear because it's every scene he's in. He wants to protect his daughter. He wants to get his
He has
daughter
motivation.
back.
And there's some subtle backstory stuff with, like, how at first he's...
Like, I get
everyone calls him, like, a captain or whatever, but he's wearing civilian clothing. And then whenever he has to go protect his family, then he grabs his weapons, and then now he's dressed up like a soldier for the rest of the movie, because now he's like...
And I get that he might be like an overbearing father, and maybe that's why he wanted to leave him, but it's just, the relationship never was revealed as being overtly negative enough, where it's like, yeah, I'll risk the desert and death for some dick that I just met, like, probably, like, a week ago. Like, it doesn't... there's nothing compelling about
the daughter character is just daughter.
Like, she doesn't have she's in a bow. Not to spoil the two twists at the end. They aren't really twists because one of them you guess in like 5 seconds and the other one doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. I saw something about the Baba Yaga.
Yes, okay.
So they set him up so the movie opens and it's this really cool shot of Ingeborg and Viggo Mortensen. And she's like, I want a dog. And he's like, cool, we'll get you a dog. And that's the scene. It goes on for 20 minutes. And then, you find out that this dude who's off in the desert who ran away.
Don't forget the guy who was jerking off in a pool for 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. It opens. One of the opening shots is a dude jerking off in a pool for literally way too long. This guy goes crazy. He's off like killing people. He wears dresses. He has a dog, and so we think as an audience, oh, okay, she gonna get that dog, or something gonna happen with that dog and her, and then it's like, oh, the boyfriend character has to go find this person,
right?
And then she goes off with him. Like, oh, they're gonna like try to find him, and like whenever they do, he's gonna give her the dog as like a present of love or whatever.
Yeah, like is she gonna find another father figure that's not Viggo Mortensen, and that's the conflict? No, that would be a story.
No, that doesn't happen. What happens is they lay down a blanket and they fuck, and then Viggo's like, oh no, where's my daughter? And there's a really cool scene with him in the tent, and then he runs off to go find the daughter for 30 minutes, and it's just him walking around the desert, riding around the desert, and then he finds where they slept. And he eats a peach off the ground.
Yeah, that was important.
And then he went, and then he finds the boyfriend dead on the ground. We don't know what happened to him. He's just bloody. Ingeborg's gone. He's like, where is she? He starts to walk around. You see like a hand grab his gun that he left behind.
And his hat.
And then he slits his throat. And then the guy...
Viggo Mortensen slits his throat.
He slits the boyfriend's throat.
And that's one of the cool scenes. Because he actually slits... And they probably cut due to budget because they couldn't show it head on, but it actually made like, a cut.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, the boyfriend was fucking shot.
Yeah.
And then Viggo Mortensen's like hiding behind him, fires. That was a cool scene.
Yeah. And this person rides off with the horse.
We never see them again.
And then you never see them again.
Yeah, that did not matter. His horse literally could have like broken its leg and died.
Yeah.
It makes
nothing would have changed.
Nothing would have changed. It makes no difference.
And then he starts walking off into the woods, into the desert, and he finds a creepy dog. And then...
the scene where the dog gets introduced is... When you said David Lynch and I first saw that dog, I'm like, oh, is this going to get fucking good?
No. Do you know what?
And it's in a pool.
How about you explain the old woman, and then I'll explain what happens after the old woman?
All right.
Do you want to do that?
So he eventually climbs up this mountain. He looks at the doll a couple of times. I don't
Because
even
he
know.
finds it.
He finds it.
Though he never knows that it's hers because when she finds it, she's with the boyfriend.
So he has no idea it's hers.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But he comes across this dog, and there's this harsh cut where the dog's just like in the close to the camera, like into the far right, and Viggo's off to the left in the kind of like in the back, and then the dog's just sitting there, and you're seeing the back of the dog, and it's not breathing and it's not moving, and that shot holds for like 10 seconds.
And it's one of the few times where they took a while on the shot and it worked,
and it made sense because it was really creepy, and then the dog just gets up out of the pond and like walks over to him, and you're like, what the fuck? And then the dog kind of like leads him, and
then we follow them for like 20 minutes.
It's shorter. It's at least a little bit better cut than the rest of the movie. So he gets up there, and then he kind of goes on, and then he needs water, and then just like there's an old woman in front of a cave, and you're like, and the dog's sitting there, and you're like, oh, okay, what does she have to do with the story? He's like, I'm thirsty, and she's like, drink from that water there, and he drinks.
This is my spring.
This is my spring. It's clearly normal, and the water's for everyone. And he like drinks the water, and there's like a cool shot of a lake behind him. And it's like,
did you explain what Jauja was? What the Jauja is?
Jauja is just the fountain of youth.
Okay, cool.
Like did they show that in the very first title card, or
it's the only title card. It's like Jauja is this. We could have had this in exposition in the film, but that would have mean people talking.
Oh.
It was cheaper to just do a title card.
Yeah, and not like the cool title cards like an Antichrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Antichrist is such a better movie.
Antichrist makes me happy to be alive.
It doesn't. No, it makes me want to kill myself, but
in
a good way.
It inspires
this movie
me.
Makes me want to kill myself in a bad way.
Would you drink the bleach?
If I'm going to drink the bourbon or the bleach, I will drink the bleach.
Cool.
Forget this movie. But so he comes across this old woman, and right away you're just kind of like, okay, what's the twist? Is this woman the devil? What's going on? And he goes in there, and she's like, he goes to get his water, and then she's gone. And then he goes in the cave. He's like, who's there? And she's like, I'm here. And then like she's just there.
And they talk for a bit.
With like a fortune teller's table. And then they kind of like sit, kind of looking thing. And they sit down, and then it's like the shot focused on Viggo, which...
What have they been talking about during that time? I don't even remember.
It doesn't... They were just...
Small talking.
They were talking about... Eventually they get on the subject of, oh man, what's it like for parents to leave children, or what's your daughter like? And then in the most like stupidly foreshadowing thing...
Clumsy.
Like,
it's clumsy.
It's so clumsy. I even feel like the actress probably messed up, and they're like, just roll with it. That's for real estate.
Hun er 14. Nej, 15 år gammel.
Nej, hvordan så min mor ud? Hvordan så pigens mor ud?
She's just like, yeah, what's my mother? And he's like, what? Her mother? What's her? And it's like, if you haven't guessed it by this point, she's the fucking daughter. She drank the water.
Times weird. She's like lived out here for like decades somehow. Yeah. So this old woman is Viggo's daughter.
And like the thing is,
maybe.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
My
point is
I think you guessed the daughter thing immediately too.
Oh, it was.
It
was like when I first saw her, I was hoping it wasn't that. I was hoping it was like, oh, I'm actually the devil.
Yeah.
Even though I knew it wasn't the devil.
And I jokingly made you think that they weren't going that way. So that when it was revealed, you were like, fuck.
Like, as soon as they mentioned that thing about the mother, I was like, wow, what is...
It was clumsy.
It was so... Like, the thing is that here's my point about this movie. Is anybody who would be dumb enough to not guess that twist is not going to watch through this movie. Anyone who is smart enough to want to appreciate the long shots is going to guess the twist immediately. This movie is for no one.
Yeah. So then what happens after that?
Oh, God. As if it couldn't get worse.
Okay, so, like... With the old one being his daughter, I was like, okay, they're doing this. But then the next thing, I jokingly guess. Okay, so what happens now is I'm gonna recap some shit to help out.
Oh, this won't take long.
Yeah, no. So early in the film, Ingeborg finds this toy with her boyfriend,
right,
in this little creek, and they pick it up. Later on, that dog keeps coming back, and then when you see the dog, it has like a rash on the side, and the dog is attracted to the girl. And then that's also your first hint of like, oh, is the dog hers because she wanted a dog?
Because this has happened before?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then like also because she has like a thing of the daughters. Yeah. And when she sees the toy, she giggles and hugs Viggo Mortensen, and it's awkward because none of them want to be there, but they're being paid. And
Viggo's not. He just volunteered.
Yeah.
He just wanted to go into the desert.
Then what happens? Viggo walks off into the distance. He sits down. There's a really nice shot.
This movie should have ended right there.
Yeah. She's narrating for some reason. I don't know what she's talking about. I think she's talking about like dogs being friends, and
Dogs. That's the tagline of the movie, guys. Dogs know how to make friends.
Yeah. And then it cuts, and I swear to God, I jokingly guessed this during my first watch through as a fucking joke. It cuts to modern day, and Ingeborg, Viggo's daughter, wakes up in
And
this,
she's young in his booty shorts.
and she's in like booty shorts, and she's in this like big mansion for some reason,
It makes no sense.
and like she gets up, she's reading like a magazine. There's like TV playing.
Yeah.
Let me keep. So you're already like fuck you movie. Then she goes outside of her gigantic mansion, by the way, and also all the shots are super quick because now they need to get out.
Now they need to cut and get off the set real quick.
Yeah, because they probably had it for like a day.
Yeah.
And so she immediately goes outside as fast as she can.
Yeah, as fast as the editor will allow.
And and there's a guy out there tending to the dogs, and you're like, okay. And then so what happens after that? The dog has a rash on its side.
Oh, and let's not forget she's talking to her dad, who is not Viggo Mortensen.
I don't know if it's her dad, but it could be.
Okay,
It could be.
fine, whatever. Let's just say it's not.
She's talking to an older gentleman. I thought it was like the person who kept the dogs
I
because they
guess.
lived in money.
Then where's Viggo Mortensen?
Oh, he's walking in the desert.
Okay.
Let me get it out. So there's a dog with the rash, and then she's like, "What's with the rash? Is he okay?" And then the guy's like, "Oh, it's a hot spot. Whenever dogs get confused or like unsure about what's happening, they get irritated and they scratch to hurt themselves." And then she's like, well, "What's wrong with the dog? Why would he be like that?" And then the guy says, "He wants to know where you always go." And then then she kind of gets quiet. She's like, "I'm gonna go on a walk." And he's like, "Okay." And it's like it's really like nice old man they found to act.
Yeah,
you know?
he was a good actor.
He meant well.
Yeah, like
The one honest part.
he
of
probably
him.
didn't even read the rest of the script.
No.
He was just like, I don't know.
They probably lied about what they were shooting.
They probably said like, this is the opening scene.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm just the guy to get the
That makes
plot
sense.
started.
And then she goes off into the woods with the dog, and she lets the dog walk off on its own, even though she brought a leash.
The dog probably just walked off and they couldn't
Yeah.
control it.
And then she finds the toy in the woods.
Yeah, it's the same toy.
It's the same toy.
Deep.
And then she sits down and looks at it like Viggo did. And then she hears the dog barking. And then she walks into this boardwalk and there's a lake. And it's kind of rippling.
Which was cool.
And
It
then
was a good
she
shot.
looks around. And then for no fucking reason.
There's no like,
there's no reason.
There's no reason.
Except
There's
for the fact that it has to tie together.
Yeah.
Literally, the only reason it happens is because movie.
Like, it's not like she
she-
has no reaction.
She, for some reason, just tosses the
it.
doll into the lake, and then it does the dissolve shot back to the creek in the beginning where she found the toy, and then it cuts the black. Oh, before they hold in the shot for about 20 seconds, then they cut the black.
This movie is fucking dog shit.
It
this
hurt
movie
me.
is a garbage fire.
Look at this shit, man! Garbage fire on my street!
The word. See, you can have a stupid movie, but when you have a movie that thinks it's really smart, that is the worst.
And it's funny because we watched this movie after watching The Fountain,
Which is probably one of the greatest movies I've ever seen.
which I had never seen before tonight. And I'd already seen Jauja before I watched The Fountain, so watching The Fountain and Jauja back to back.
and they have the same kind of idea of like time is cyclical,
Mm-hmm.
but you have one movie that actually has a story, and then you have one movie that
The thing about The
Doesn't-
Fountain, minor spoilers for The Fountain,
yeah.
is it is concurrent. The story goes at 3 different times throughout the entire movie.
Across 1,000 years.
1500s, 2000s, and 25,000s.
Yeah.
But it opens in like conquistador times.
Yeah.
And then cuts to the future, and then
Yes.
cuts to modern. But that's all in the first 10 minutes.
But imagine
You
if
can't
the-
get an hour and 40 in and then establish, oh, by the way, it's
Yeah.
like The Fountain, you see.
No, see, imagine if they had done this movie. Like, imagine if the Fountain had just been the conquistador stuff, but stretched out so like you actually see them wandering around the jungle for like 30 minutes, and then at the end, like the last 10 minutes, it just cuts to the future, and then just I don't want to spoil the ending, but like the ending happens, and you're just like, wow, that meant nothing.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
literally this movie. Like, cut out every bit of like character development, depth, themes, music. The Fountain looks better because it actually uses like differing focuses and zooms
Lighting,
and
shots,
close-ups.
acting. People say things in The Fountain.
They talk about how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Like you get.
Also, a thing that we talked about a lot is you could take Jauja and cut it up into a 30-minute movie.
30-minute at most.
30-minute movie.
Like, to be perfectly
If you're
honest.
being kind.
If you're
30
being kind,
minutes.
if you let a few of the shots drag on.
Yeah.
if you were editing this like how I probably would, if like I got all this footage, and let's say this was a film I made as like a student film, I had like 2 weeks to shoot it, and then I could probably get this down to like 25 minutes.
You think?
Yeah, probably could. Like, you're looking at the script right now. I think the script is probably only like 20 pages. I mean, it's cool to see Viggo Mortensen speaking Danish and speaking...
The ancient one said that Jauja was a fabled city of riches and happiness. Many expeditions tried to find this place. With time, the legend grew disproportionately. People were undoubtedly exaggerating, as they usually do. The only thing that is known for certain is that all who tried to find this place, this earthly paradise, got lost on the way.
See, you want to know that's the first title card. You want to know the problem with that? Nobody was looking for Jauja. He was looking for his daughter. And his daughter wanted to
But that's
escape,
the point, you see, is that he was searching for his daughter.
which is his paradise. Like, that's weird.
The point is, do me a favor, put Jauja on a second monitor, on a TV, play some random music, and like as you work, occasionally look over and be like,
Well, that's a good shot.
like mute Jauja, and every so often look over and be like, hey, that looks nice. Actually, here's what you do.
I bet that time it set up.
Someone like screen caps all of the nice shots in Jauja, and you just go through like
The
the
slideshow.
you just go through the slideshow, and you want to know what? You probably get the same fucking story.
What little there is. Because honestly, the first 30 minutes could have been the first 10
Mm-hmm.
in a normal story. And I know what everyone's saying, like, it's alternative storytelling. Like, who says everything has to follow a 3x structure and have dialogue and character arcs? And I'm like, well, there's a reason why that's like the standard, because it's good.
Because it works.
Because if you have a solid story, if you introduce things, here's the number one rule: Chekhov's gun. If you introduce something like a crazy guy who stole your horse and has a gun now, you bring that back in the third act.
Yeah, he never shows up.
Or you just don't have him in the movie and have the horse get its leg broken since you're focused on him wandering through the desert anyway. It makes no fucking difference. There is no thematic reason that guy needs to be in the movie. It's just one thing, though. Like, the whole time is cyclical thing doesn't really matter, because I don't feel like Viggo Mortensen's character, if we're comparing this to The Fountain, I don't feel like his character reached any understanding. Like, oh, I need to let her go. And then in the end, she has a new lease on life or something. There's no reason. Like, The Fountain, the end of the movie takes place, like, after the events, like, 20 minutes before the end. You've come, like, the arcs have been completed for all the 3 layers.
Mm-hmm.
And this feels like an afterthought. Like, they were like, oh, you know how we shot all that stuff and he kind of, like, kneeled on the ground and, like, his daughter's an old woman. What if we had this place to rent? Like, that old guy was probably the guy who owned the mansion. And they're like, hey, this guy like is a friend of ours. Let's rent it out and let's film a scene and we'll bring that dog back. And they probably got the dog from him anyway. And we'll put the prosthetic on it, and then we'll just have your niece walk into the woods.
Because it was obviously prosthetic, because she runs her hand over.
She's like, oh, it injures itself, and then like
she touches it, and
like,
the dog doesn't react. So it's like, okay, it's prosthetic. Cool.
Nice, that made it feel real. This movie
hurt me.
I would watch it again. Not alone. I would watch it with someone if I wanted to make fun of it. I'd probably watch it with Nathan just to see him suffer.
Yeah, I like to see Nathan suffer.
Yeah, well, I mean, like if he thought the Vivitch was bad, like this is gonna be.
Oh, poor Nathan.
Like, he'd probably die.
He might praise the witch after watching Jauja.
That's the plan. But no, my point is, I'd probably watch this as like if I was ever teaching someone how to edit. And I'd literally have the movie in Final Cut or Premiere. Decent. But my point is like, I'd put it in an editing program. You could put it in fucking Windows Movie Maker. The cuts won't be that hard.
You're right, though.
I'd just put it in there, and then I'd literally just sit down with them. We're like, we're going to watch this movie. Why do you have it in an editor? Well, you see, we're going to be cutting out half the movie as you're watching it. And you'll know why. And you'll thank me for it. Like, that's the only reason I will rewatch this movie. But my point is that this movie's not Kubrick. It's not No Country for Old Men, where that holds shots for a reason.
It's Lissandro Alonso or whatever.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, nice location.
Yeah. Anyone could have gotten there.
Props to your scout.
Anyone could have gotten there. Like, that's not talent. Just because you saw a good location. Like, you didn't do anything with it, really. Other than show it.
Well, thanks for joining us on the Escape Pod.
Yeah, I was a lot less angry than I thought I'd be.
Yeah.
After the
I'm
beginning.
going to cut that up a little bit. But it's okay.
You shouldn't. I want it to feel like Jauja. I want you to feel every second.
Maybe.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Cut out the parts where we're looking at stuff.
Yeah. Thank you all. We'll get more episodes out eventually. I have to edit the Great Wall thing one day. So
you're scared of the backlash because nobody remembers the movie. So now you're scared you're going to reignite the controversy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thanks everyone. Fucking kill me.